me 3 questions, and I think it's only fair to assume I give you 3 answers. Sounds like a good deal. And it's a Throwback Junior Special! He's probably face palming, but he's been given an episode special, so it's all good. Question 1. What kind of movie do you think Disney Animation Studios should make for their 100th anniversary, which is in 2023? How about a traditional animated movie? You know, it's a simple answer. I think traditional animation has taken too much of a backseat towards CG 3D movies. Now, you know, when you look at a movie, let's say for the sake of discussion, like Tangled or Frozen, they are gorgeous movies with regards to visuals, but it's not Aladdin, it's not The Jungle Book, it's not The Little Mermaid, and it's most certainly not Lilo and Stitch. There's something about a traditional animated movie that really sets itself apart. You know, you can see something a little bit more magical with the visuals. Now, vicariously, that's not to say CG can't do something that has that same kind of context and aura. But if you look at something like, I know this is a completely different movie coming, if you look at The Land Before Time, and then, you know, look at just the way that movie is colored, lit, shaded. I mean, Don Bluth was a visionary, and still is, considering that movie's coming up for its 30th next year. And every now and again, I'll go back and watch that movie, and I'll be transported right back to the 1980s. And, you know, they just don't make movies like that anymore. And I'd like to think if they ever did a proper full-length feature, Sonic Satan movie, I'd love to see it done in that style, because that would just be gorgeous. That would just be perfect. So that answers that question. Oh, oddly enough, we get into a Sonic question. What spin-off game genre would you like to see from the Sonic franchise? I'm going to break this down into 3 because I can't name just one. I'd like to see another attempt at doing a spin-off game for Shadow, because I think it's been long enough since his debut game in 2005. I say his debut game because that's the one where, you know, the sole focus is on him and not just being a playable character, you know, with a host of other characters like, you know, Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic Heroes. I'd like to see where they could take his story, because there are an infinite number of possibilities and scenarios that they could play with that character, and I feel like Sega are not really utilizing him the way they should be. But, you know, that's just me calling it for what it is. Second, I'd like to actually reinvent Knuckles as a character and take him right back to what he should be the lone guardian of the Master Emerald on Floating Island, Angel Island, whatever they choose to call it these days, but really do kind of a Batman the Animated Series sensibility with reinventing his character, like how they reinvented the character of Bruce Wayne, where the playboy image is a facade and the caring environmentalist and, you know, someone who has a lot of social responsibility is his real face, other than his other real face, which is Batman. So I'd like to see that type of sensitivity treated with the character, and actually, you know, actually treat the character somewhat more seriously, because the way he is in Boom is a joke. You know, there's a fine line between naivete and stupidity, and I think some people can't distinguish that line, because the reason Knuckles is duped so often in the games is because he has no social awareness. If you grew up on a floating island all your life with no social skills whatsoever, you're not going to pick up street smarts and what have you. So, yeah, I'd definitely do an origin story for Knuckles, because I think that one's way overdue. And third one, you all know where I'm going with this, I'd give Sally Acorn a proper game. But kind of expand on what they're doing for the custom creator character for Sonic Forces, where it's the mechanic action star type of role. And as I've mentioned in previous Q&A episodes, and particularly in the 26th anniversary special that I did nearly a month ago, she's been kept away for too long. And it's a character that a lot of us hold quite near and dear to us because of the way that she's represented from a writing standpoint and a visual standpoint, to the way her character is treated in Satam. I know in the comics they've kind of made her the proverbial punching bag in places, which I'm trying to catch up with the comics and what have you. And I just think it's a character that's had so much potential to be put into the medium of video games, and yet Sega don't take that chance. Although there is a word on the wire that originally it was going to be her in Sonic 360 and not Princess Elise. My question to that is, why didn't they run with that idea? I mean, first of all, I would have been yay for her being in it. And at the same time, it's just like, why up until now do Sonic Team not do good ideas? And I can't be the only one thinking this, so, you know, for the third one, I definitely give Sally a game, but it's more like a sort of, when I say do an Indiana Jones and Lara Croft style of play, I don't mean like she's a, you know, a Tomb Raider and treasure hunter and that and all that, but it would be aspects of that style of genre, because she's the action girl, she's the tomboy, and not, as well watch again, and you know, not afraid to get her fingers dirty, which you know, I dig. And third and final question: have you ever watched Animaniacs? Who hasn't? If so, what are your thoughts on Spielberg rebooting the series? Another reboot. I'm just gonna be blunt with this, as someone who is kind of getting sick and tired of seeing so many reboots so quick these days. They're almost being manufactured as quickly as manufactured pop bands, but that's a story for another time. In all honesty, I think as long as it stays true to the original and doesn't, you know, start spouting pointless memes for the sake of pointless memes, then I think it should be fine. But, you know, I enjoyed Tiny Toon Adventures, which was one he did as well back in the day, which you don't really hear so much about these days. But, you know, I have no doubt that it'll be good. I mean, this is Spielberg we're talking about here, so it should be fine. Those have been your 3 questions for this week. You know how the shtick works by now. Leave a question in the comment section below. This is DynamicKnight.com. River City Gamers, how you doing? Here on YTub, VidMe, or if it's any of my social media outlets with the hashtag AskTheKnight. But until then, folks, have a nice Sunday evening and ask again.